It is May 29th. This is the ups and downs of micro budget filmmaking brought to you by not The Simpsons. Yesterday, I had reached out to a gentleman who I know. I don't really know how I know him, but he has a video film production company along with two other gentlemen, and I had borrowed a shotgun mic from him 14, 15 years ago, and haven't talked to him much since. I went over to his place a couple weeks ago just to talk, and he had a camera that I'm thinking about getting if I, in fact, I get a camera. And so between then and yesterday, I had reached out to a couple other people who could be a DP, cinematographer, whatever you want to call it, and have not either heard back or had any luck. So I thought, well, why don't I just, for fun or for my knowledge, reach out to this guy and see what he would charge for a 2-week shoot for himself, his two compadres, and then all their equipment. They've got a Blackmagic 6K Pro, and they've also got I don't know what their other camera is. I can't remember, but it's a nice camera. So I did that, and I just briefly said it's a 2-week shoot. I don't have all the details yet. What would you charge? And he said, well, my partner does the estimating, but based on 2-week shoot, it would be, quote, tens of thousands of dollars. And then and I sent him the script just to read, but I said, I didn't say don't waste your time. I said, don't spend your partner's time doing an estimate because that's way beyond what I could afford. So I found that out first thing this morning. I think he replied or late last night, but it led to not really a depressing day, but all day at work, I was just thinking about the reality sort of hitting that this is going to be, I don't know why I'm smiling and laughing. This is not going to be easy. I was watching a YouTube video of people who have made like micro budget, I think 30,000 and under, according to WGA or whatever, or SAG or something. I don't really follow them, and it doesn't matter to me much, but I think micro budget is 30,000 and under, and then there's like ultra low budget, which is 200,000. And there's a couple of people talking about projects they had made, and which was interesting. But then I watched the trailers, and wow, they were not good. One of them was pretty well shot, but the acting was bad, and the other one just looked cheap. And what I don't want to do is make a movie that looks cheap, no matter how much I spend on it. The point is that if I did in fact have, even if I had $30,000, according to these people, if they charged 20 or 25, which I'm sure I'd get my money's worth, that would blow pretty much the budget. And it's not even a consideration, because I think the very, very, very most I would plan to spend, unless someone comes up and gives me a big chunk of change, is 20,000, and that will be the very, very top end. I'm hoping to be more like 15 or less. So that was a down, and that kind of got me down. I was, like I said, I thought about it all day at work in my spare moments. And then when I got home, I had an email from another gentleman who is a local guy who does cinematography. He teaches at a local community college. And I'd reached out to him, and I sent him the script. And he said, thanks, very gracious, very nice, said, thanks for sending me the script. I enjoyed it. It's a fun read, but I don't think I'm the right person for your project. And I've seen some of the stuff he shot, and I agree. He's I don't want to say artsy in a bad way, but kind of moody and very dramatically lit and that sort of thing, which doesn't really fit the mood and the tone of this film. So it was sort of a thanks but no thanks, and I don't know what he would have charged or anything like that. We didn't even bother getting into that. He did say that he also teaches an acting class, and he'd be glad to pass along the news about it, but I told him it was pretty much already cast although they're two small roles that potentially we could hook up on that. And then I asked him if he has, because he teaches cinematography. So I said, if you've got any students with past or present who have a little experience or want more experience, please let me know. And I sent him a flyer. So it has some information and my contact number. So that was, I mean, it wasn't really a positive thing, but I sort of made it a positive thing in a downer day. So my thoughts now, of course, are running in the direction of do I in fact get a camera, buy a camera, and find someone who I don't currently know to shoot it. I've got a couple other people that I have reached out to, and one of them I've heard back, but I haven't spoken with them. Another I haven't heard back at all. So how is this helping you? Well, unless you live in the middle of Podunk, USA, or Timbuktu, as they used to say, there is almost assuredly a film community, and it may not be within 10 miles, but even if it's within a 50-mile radius of where you are, you can almost always find people at least to get, some networking, some contacts, some friend of a friend, give you a price, give you an idea of what kind of equipment they have, what they could bring to the party, if they would let you borrow some equipment, rent some equipment. So needless to say, the lower the budget, the more resourceful you have to be. And the problem is, I don't know if my monetary resources are going to, I don't know if they're going to allow me to make the movie. That is a very sad thought. I'm not going to dwell on it, though, because we are going to have a table read on Monday, and I'm going to sort of go over, without getting into the dollars and cents with everybody, kind of the situation, where we stand. I don't want to lead anyone on, especially because most of them, as far as I know, are not taking upfront money for this. So that's where we are. I thought it would be worth reporting in on a day that has not been the happiest of days, but it has been a day, and there's always progress of some sort going on. Thanks for tuning in. Next time you see me, hopefully I will be smiling the entire video, but no promises.